Hello and welcome to Lenovo Unboxed. This is Gavin, as always, with my good friend
Kevin,
Robot Kevin today.
You never can remember that.
No, I stutter sometimes on your name. It's good to see you, Kev.
How you doing?
Good. We're here today to unbox the Lenovo MIIX. This is a 10-inch convertible. If you don't know by now, we're living in a PC Plus era. It's no longer enough to just have a laptop. It's no longer certainly okay to just have a tablet, but having a laptop that can be like a tablet or vice versa, Kev, is
best
the
of both
ticket,
worlds.
right?
Best of both worlds. Yeah.
So where do we start with MIIX?
Okay, so I have my standard unboxing tool, so we'll do these.
Please don't cut the
ceremonial magic wand unboxing there.
Awesome.
So I think the simplest thing that I can say about this is that there are certainly people who are going to need a laptop, right? There are some people who are just going to look for a laptop. They have a price in mind. They have a feature, function set in mind, and that's what they're going to buy because they're never going to use a touchscreen. And then there are some people who are only going to use a tablet for, classic consumption. They're going to watch movies. They're going to watch videos. They're going to do email, Facebook, whatever. And they only need a tablet. But
they're not going to do the hard work or write their next novel or anything like that. Right.
You can type up to a point on a flat screen tablet. But there comes a point, in my opinion, and obviously in the opinion of the folks who made this, that you need a keyboard for some things. So hence the MIIX.
Right. So, again, if you follow the plot with Lenovo, you know by now, we've got Yoga, which has the 360-degree hinge, right?
Yep.
We've got Helix, which is a premium business-oriented device. Multiple modes, right? But then one of the ones that's under the radar sometimes, ThinkPad Tablet 2. This seems most like the ThinkPad Tablet 2, but there are some clear differences as well, right?
Absolutely, the closest comparison we can make to an existing product that we have is the ThinkPad Tablet 2. So a lot of similarities: 10.1-inch screen, 1366 by 768 resolution, IPS screen, great viewing angles, all these things. But if you're a business user or maybe a certain type of user with additional needs, there are things about Tablet 2 that are going to be appealing to you. Some things like security chip. It's got a pen for drawing on the screen. It's got an external dock that you can plug an Ethernet cable into if you need to do things like imaging. So there's stuff like that.
Wonky yet important business things. Right?
Yeah, and if you need those things, you need them. But if you don't, then MIIX is probably the right product for you.
So this is a little more stripped down. So none of the big large enterprise sort of business features.
Right. If you want to buy 100 of them in 20 different countries at the same time in the same week with the same part number, ThinkPad Tablet 2.
Okay.
If you're going to buy one, well, maybe, make your own choice, but this is probably more the product for you.
Good. And let's go back to the display for a minute because I think it's beautiful. Actually, it's one of the things that's kind of been standing out for me about some of our products. I tell people what IPS means because we've got some nerds who know darn well.
Right.
But for me, it took me a while to figure out the whole viewing angle thing. Right.
Okay. So to avoid giving a treatise on different screen technologies, there are a whole bunch of other things that are traditionally used in laptops and some tablets that don't have good what is known as off-axis viewing angle. And by that I mean, let me spin this around. You folks will be able to see this. So you're looking straight at that, right?
Sure.
So IPS has, in this case, an 85-degree off-axis viewing angle. So look, as I turn this...
say awesome access.
Well, could be.
A cool
but you see, as I turn this around, as I'm getting closer and closer to 90 degrees from your eyes, notice the color isn't really falling off. It's not getting any dimmer. Right? And I'll do the same thing for the camera here. Right? As I turn this around, look at the lack of color shift, the lack of dimness as I turn this around.
So it looks darn good from wide angles. So if you're watching a movie with a few people, even sitting on the plane watching a movie or something, and you're in the next seat, that might help you.
Right. Well, if it's a laptop and you have complete control and you're only going to view it at one angle, there are cases you might need IPS, but if you don't, you can live with it. But if it's a tablet and you're picking it up and you're turning it this way, that way, showing it to somebody, you need good off-axis viewing angles, hence IPS.
Sure.
Right.
And let's talk about the processor. I think you may have mentioned it, but it's an Intel Atom processor.
Right. It's an Intel Atom Clover Trail dual core, the Z2760. 2 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of storage. We'll go around the ports later, but this has a SD card slot, or I believe a micro SD card slot, so you can add another 32. Right, so you can get 96 gigs of storage on this. So a lot of room for music, movies, TV shows, whatever.
And that raises a good point. Again, we like to try to tell you in these videos, who is this for? And really, there's a broad range of uses. You guys know by now what tablets are for, right? Again, you're not gonna write any long form documents on this thing,
right?
But you do have the optional keyboard case here, the folio case, which helps. But more than anything, you're consuming rather than creating content, right?
Yeah,
Jeff?
absolutely. We've got, as Gavin pointed out, a lot of other tablets that are great content consumption devices, right? Android-based tablets that if you're just going to watch TV shows, movies, music, whatever, it's great. But this is Windows 8 based, right? So, and it's full Windows 8. It's not Windows RT. So you can install every application that you can install on a normal laptop on this. You can install Office, right? You can actually get some work done and get it all, in a 580 gram. What is that in pounds? You looked it up?
I was just going to do that in my head. Give me time.
Yeah, 580 gram weight. So you've got, a package here that gives you everything that you would want out of a tablet, sort of plus a little more. The ability to do some work if and when you need to.
And we're obviously selling quite a few Windows 8 laptops at this point, touch and non-touch. But this, to me, is a great usage of Windows 8. You've got access to all the apps in the Windows App Store. And again, if you're going into your PowerPoint or something like that, you can do some light typing on here.
Yeah, absolutely. Great, companion device, as they say.
Yep.
Right? So let me just quickly. So this is the keyboard. This speaks to the whole flexibility thing we were talking about. That this is the keyboard. Let me get back.
You want to come around the side, show the people?
Let me pop it out of the case here. So this is the keyboard case, is what I'm trying to say.
Sure,
so we'll give you a view of that, right? So you've got a case here. Perhaps sort of show this when it was in there. But you just pull this up. There's a little magnet. Oops, that keeps that in place, and then you can fold it down. You've got a nice carrying case.
Show them the pins there too, Kevin. I thought that was kind of cool, where it catches it basically.
Right. So you've got a docking mechanism here that docks the keyboard in, and you can hear the nice little Windows sound when you click it in. It ding, 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 ding. It says, "I've got a keyboard now."
It's very cheerful.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So let's close that down and slide it over here.
All right.
So, like I said, you've got a slim, light, full-function computing device here, right? Windows 8. I think most people are familiar with that now. Do our sort of obligatory around the horn. Volume up and down. SIM card, micro SD, micro HDMI, power plug, docking port, nothing on that side. And then on the top here, we've got our power button and our combo port for headphones and microphone. That's what those things are called.
Yep, the combo jack.
Yep.
And tell me how thin it is again. It's 10.1 millimeters, is that right?
Yep, 10.1 inch screen, 10.1 millimeters thick.
Wow, we should have called it the 10.1, don't you think?
Instead of the MIIX.
By the way, MIIX has an extra I in it. I don't know if you guys noticed that. MIIX. So we were going to call this an unboxing and spell unboxing with 2 I's in there.
So it's a MIIX.
Yeah. Okay. MIIX. I don't know why. We'll ask the product guys if we can and get back to you. Maybe tell you on Facebook or something. Kev, what else to tell the people here about the MIIX before we sign off?
No, I think just to reiterate, if I can speak English, what we said before. There's a range of devices for a range of uses, right? If you're just going to watch videos and do a little email, then maybe a pure tablet is good for you.
Sure.
If you need like full-on Core i5, Core i7 horsepower for whatever you're going to do, then we've got things all the way up to the Helix.
Sure.
But if what you need is a solid device that's small, thin, light that you can carry around, but you can also add a keyboard to, and potentially use like a laptop, then that's really where MIIX is targeted.
And as always, we're committed to giving people a lot of options, be it laptop, tablet, or convertible.
Yep.
And in a number of price ranges. It's worth noting that this one, I don't know the exact starting price, and you'll have to check in your own country, but this thing is very competitively priced, especially for Windows 8 tablets.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's something that should slot in nicely in our portfolio. So
and good battery life. Forgot to mention that. 10 hours plus a battery life.
Yep. Very important. Again, if you're on the plane, if you're on a trip or anything like that. So
All right.
that is the Lenovo MIIX, and we hope you've enjoyed our latest edition of Lenovo Unboxed.
Thanks, Gavin.
All right, thank you. Take care.